Hi, friends.
Welcome to Live Alone. Working on it.
I'm
Ooh,
Ore.
ooh, ooh. Do you hear that from our trailer? Ooh, 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 ooh.
I do remember. Yo, that feels like so long ago. It
It
was just
feels
a
like
year
10,000 years
ago.
ago. 10,000 years ago. 10,000 years ago. Do you know what I did yesterday?
What?
I watched The Diplomat,
Nothing
season
surprising
one.
about that.
It's just so good. And Kerry Russell is amazing. Catherine Weiler, I'm obsessed with. I love it.
First of all, congratulations on getting her name right.
Thank you so much, because I
And
usually call her
second,
Carrie Hilson.
yeah,
And I'm like,
that's
that's
what
not
I'm
right.
like. And two, is it me or was season one better than season two?
It was not you, ma'am, but I feel like this is the 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 tragedy of filmmaking when you're rolling in seasons. Even in movies, one is always better than two. I cannot think of a single instance where two is better than one.
Sister Act, Whoopi Goldberg. Two was good.
Not one.
It wasn't
It
better, but
was
it was
good.
good.
Oh, okay. This one might get me fired, but I'm gonna say it anyway.
What?
Dirty Dancing. Havana Nights was much better than the Patrick Swayze one. I don't know whenever.
You know, I've only seen Dirty Dancing. I haven't seen Havana
Havana
Nights.
Nights. I loved
So
Havana Nights. It was
I've nothing to say on that one. I wouldn't
that
know.
is that's the movie that made me want to go to Cuba.
All
Literally.
right.
And then when I went to Cuba, I was just dancing in the streets like
I fully
I did
believe
not.
everything about this story.
It's
But
true.
also, can we come back to to the Diplomat? Who
Yeah.
asked them to change the soundtrack?
Thank you so
That was
much for
like one
pointing
of
this
the best
out.
parts of season
One of
one.
the best parts of
It-
season one was how
why
epic the
fix it?
soundtrack brought everything together. The
I still
cheekiness
play that.
of
I played it
hell.
yesterday. I played
Same.
it yesterday.
I play it when I need to concentrate and like have
Same.
non-lyrical music,
Same. I play it at
right?
the gym.
Then
I play it when I'm tired. I play it when I'm just, I want
it's
music, but I don't
great.
want music. You know what I mean? And so I just,
Nathan Barr and Dimitri Smith, those are the artists.
oh, good.
So excellent. But I
And then
don't
you
know what
arrive
happened
in
in season
season
two.
two and you're waiting for the dun 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 dun
Dun,
dun
dun, dun,
dun
dun,
dun. And
dun,
it
dun.
doesn't come. And I'm
Dun,
like,
dun, dun,
what's
dun,
happening?
dun, 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 dun. It's so
I'm
good.
like,
So
here? What?
losing my mind. It's so good. So good.
Anyway, it's
Anyway,
not to say season two's not good. It was good because Kerry Russell, brilliant as always.
as
Um,
always,
and the chemistry between her and I always forget his name.
Denison.
No, not Dennison. We're over
Oh,
Dennison. Dennison
Rufus.
was a bit of
Rufus.
a
I know.
that
So
one.
disappointing.
Dennison was not
Rufus
the one.
Poole, whatever his name is. Denison was not giving this season.
He was
Like
not giving.
their energy, their chemistry was like a little bit off. But I wonder if that was intentional,
It
because
was intentional.
what I was thinking about today, or well, yesterday when I watched it, was um I don't know that Kate and Hell will survive
If
if
Dennison is in play.
Kate no, if Kate sleeps with Denison.
That's what I'm saying. If Dennison is still in play, Kate, no, they will because
I
how
really don't think they will, because Hell himself is unable to sleep with anybody if it's
that's
not
a
Kate.
Hal problem.
Right? I'm with you. Girl, don't get me wrong. I'm just saying that, like, I think that if because their whole dynamic is him trying to convince her to stick around and stay, and she stays. She stays. He like screws everything around, but then at the last minute, like he comes through for her. And I think that for him,
That's not why she
he's
stays. She
no,
stays
no,
because he
no.
got bombed. He
Also,
nearly
also fair.
dies.
But I think my point is that, like, in Hell's mind, he can still win his wife back. And I think
Yeah.
that if Kate sleeps with Denison, Hell will truly be heartbroken. And you know, men can cheat on you and be just, and then be like, you're overreacting. But you do it to them, they cannot function. Like, world's falling apart.
Were we
You know what
supposed to
I
do
mean?
spoiler alert? Because we've just now basically told you
No,
the
season
entire
2's
plot of
been
season
out.
1 and 2.
Season season 2, been out. Been out. I'm so sorry. No time to spoil it.
If you haven't seen it, you
If
really
you haven't
should
seen
though.
it, it's
It's
worth seeing.
really good. The Diplomat
It's
is really good.
excellent. Excellent, excellent,
There's
excellent,
2
excellent.
though. You know that, right? There's another show called The Diplomat,
Yes. Is
but
it a
that
show or is it a
one's
movie?
no, it's a show.
It's a show?
Hmm. But that
I
one's
started watching Madam Secretary because Dummy I was like, "Dummy, I need something
I've
to
told
watch."
you a million times to watch Madam Secretary. I said you'd like
And
Blake, and you just
who the hell is Blake?
pure. Are
Who's
you
Blake? Wait,
are you
who's
watching it
Blake?
or are you not watching it?
I 1000% am watching it, but maybe I just don't know who the hell.
Her assistant is Blake.
Oh, I love him.
Oh my god. Who's Blake? Oh, I love him.
I know people's names, but like he's great.
I was like,
Fully
you'd
in like
like
season
him.
3.
What?
Yeah, fully in season 3. I don't know
Oh.
his name. But he's great. Listen, so literally so Dummy's like, you should watch Madam Secretary. So I was like, yes, or it has been saying this. When to go watch it? It's amazing. It's amazing.
Oh,
I
I'm
love
glad
it.
that you like it. I love
I
it because
really
I
love it.
love
I really love it.
what's her name? Can't remember her name. I really
Also
enjoy her.
can't remember her name, but she's amazing.
And I
Yeah,
like the
yeah.
the relationship with her husband as well. I really
Same.
I enjoy these powerful women roles with the supportive husbands, not because the husband is any
Yes.
less powerful,
I'm
because
with
her
you.
husband is a military pilot or something,
Professor.
and
Well,
now
he
he's a
was a military
professor.
pilot. Now
Yeah.
he's a professor.
So he
Yeah.
was highly placed in the army, and then with Kate, her husband is also formerly a diplomat, you know. But so it's not like these men are supportive because they couldn't crack it or they couldn't do it or they haven't had their own time to shine. Do you get what I mean? They're
With you.
they're also powerful men who are just being supportive of their powerful
With you.
women. So I just kind of
With
I
you.
love that dynamic. Anyway,
Yeah.
so yeah,
No,
if you were looking for something to watch,
I
those
fully,
two.
fully agree. Yeah, I love it. Okay, so today, the thing we're working on today.
Is
And I
what?
really want you guys to get ready because I think it's gonna be I don't want it to be a tough chat. Like
There
to be
really
very
should be
fair.
alcohol on LMA because sometimes Cassandra just
I
arrives and rocks you.
I really don't want this to be a tough chat. I want you to be encouraged by this chat. Okay. I'm as much as I'm speaking to you or to our LMA friends, I'm speaking to me. Okay. I'm speaking to me as well. Um, I don't want us to walk into 2025, okay, with the energy of one day.
Oh,
Okay. I don't want us to walk into the year 2025 with
we
the
walked
energy
in
of
already, friend.
we've walked in, but it's
It's
still
been a
early days.
minute.
It's early days. It's still early days, right? There's still more of the year than of the year that has passed. Okay.
Fair enough.
And I don't want this to be the year where we go, one day I'm going to do this. One day I'm going to arrive here. One day I'm going to like start that business, start that Instagram account, start that TikTok page, unless you're in the US and then it's T for tenth there.
Hey, it's
Um,
back on.
it's back under moratorium, but sure. Okay. Um, I think it's not, I don't think it's TikTok's going anywhere, truly. But
Mhm.
I think that we're kind of like we've been in the podcast now for 1 year. And for me, it's been a year of like lessons, of learning, of reflection, of all of these things. But the reality is the things that I need to work on and the things that are my goals and my challenges are I don't need any more knowledge. I don't need to read another book. I don't need to watch another YouTube tutorial. I don't need to listen to another podcast. And I know that I'm saying this on a podcast. I'm saying that like I've done the energy, I've given the planning, the energy, and the work that it requires. And 2025 needs to be the year where the planning turns into action. It needs to turn into
Yeah.
action. We don't need one more book. We don't need one more podcast. We don't need one more YouTube tutorial. Like, I don't want us to fall into the trap of, okay, I'm going to lose weight, but I'm only going to start on Monday. Start today, babes.
It's like it's
Start.
already Wednesday. The weekend is nearly here. I might as well just finish out the week. Empty out my freezer of all the ice cream. I've been craving a McDonald's. I might as well just get it now. And then Monday,
And then on
Monday will
Monday
start.
we'll try again, right? And like all jokes aside, but these are the things that we do, and these are the, I mean, and tough love here, but these are the lies that we tell ourselves. You know, it's like I will launch that business when I finally sign up for that business class at the university. I've got one more university course to finish. And then once I finish that, once I've gotten my MBA, I'm going to apply for that job. Apply today. Okay? Start today. Even if starting today is so small, even if your journey is getting to the gym, today, go for a walk. Okay? Just start. And I know that we've talked about this before, and I think we talked about this at the very beginning of our podcast because it was our journey on the podcast of us going back and forth of like, oh, we're gonna do it, we're gonna do it, we're gonna do it, we're gonna do it. And then
we
Ori
were
sat me down and she was like, Cassie, like, we have to start. And I was like, you are right. And so we started. And here we are a year later.
because it took a year to start. You know that, right?
Yeah,
The first
I'm very aware.
Christmas, and then we were like, "Oh
I'm
yeah,
very
we're gonna
aware.
do this, we're gonna do that," and then we did nothing for a
I'm
full year. You know, I
I'm
I had this thought just the other day, and maybe
mm,
not quite so much, in the way that you've put it, but I was just like this idea of one day. One
mm,
day I'll do
mm,
this, or one day.
mm,
I had this thought the
mm.
other day, like, what's wrong with today?
What is
No,
wrong with
today is
today?
a day. Technically, today is one day. So
Yeah.
what's wrong with just getting it done? I understand that sometimes with the things that you need to do or the things you want to do or start or put in place or whatever, there is a process. But I think part of what Cassie is saying is start the process. Like
Start the
you're
process.
never gonna get there if you don't start whatever needs to happen now.
100%.
And we often get bogged down in the planning because it's so much easier to dream. Oh, if I had $10,000,
If
I'd do
I had
this
$10,000,
and I'd do that
yo,
and I'd do
I do
that.
that all the
And if
time.
I just
I
lost
do
the
that
weight,
all the
I'd wear
time.
that dress Carrie Russell wore
Oh,
in
oh.
in the Diplomat. By the way, I got that dress.
The red one.
Yes, ma'am.
What the hell? Ma'am, send me photos immediately.
By the
What are you
way, I was
saying? Where did you get it?
obsessed.
Why didn't you tell me? Why didn't you tell me? Why didn't you tell me?
Okay, okay. Calm down, calm
I'm
down.
so upset.
I was obsessed with that dress from when I saw it in
It
season
was
one.
beautiful. It
It
was
was
beautiful.
stunning.
It was
And then for us to get
beautiful.
to season two and she just rips that thing apart. I'm like, oh girl, can
Okay, but
I
she
just
was like, she was going through it. Her husband was
I
on the
know, I
operating
know,
table.
I know. But still, anyway, so I sort of
Where
went
did you
looking for
find
it
it?
on Boohoo.
Of course, I don't even know what that is.
I'll send you I think it's a UK like online retailer something something. I don't know. I'll
Amazing.
send it to you. It's
Please, please, please. I
gorgeous.
want to see the dress.
Not gonna lie. It's not the exact same dress, but it is very
Very
close.
close.
But I'm just
Yeah.
like, you're not going to ever get to one day if you don't
Yeah.
start today. Like you've got to start
Fair.
doing the thing you need to do now.
Fair.
So it's funny because I had
Fully,
this thought
fully.
very recently. Like there's a lot
I
of
think
things I've
I
wanted to do, and I've just been
mm.
like, we'll get there, we'll get there.
But can I
But
can I actually unpack that a little bit with you? Like the fact that you just had this thought, it's something that I have been thinking about as well. We haven't spoken to each other about this.
mm,
But like I had like some of my girlfriends over the other day and we cooked breakfast together. It was beautiful and lovely. And
cute.
they were saying the exact same thing. This feeling like, and I'm getting like I'm an energy person. Like I don't not like
Yeah,
super, super like within
yeah.
all the things, but like I'm an energy person. And I feel like with all the content that I'm seeing on socials, and maybe it's the algorithm, I don't know. But I feel like there are women, and particularly Black women, that are so ready to engage, that are so ready to activate, that are so ready to like level up in whatever it is that their space is that they're holding. And but like, and for me, I'm like, the energy is there, the momentum is behind you. Lean into it and just go. Because it's also very easy to talk yourself out of a situation.
Mm.
Oh, I would love to start this business, but I don't feel like I have enough resource. I don't feel like I have enough people. I don't feel like I have enough of this. I don't have enough of that. The reality is that whatever you're about to start, you probably will never be 100% ready.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
you're never going to be, there's only so much that preparation is going to take, only so far preparation is going to take you. But at some point, you're going to have to just leap. And I don't know why, but 2025 for me is the year. It's the year of the leap. It's the one day has arrived. It is today. Go,
Mm.
babes. Go, 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 go. Because I have this feeling. I have this inner, this is our year. And I'm excited. I'm so excited. No?
I'm just I'm just watching you and I'm like, give the girl preachers, what do reverends wear? Give her a Bible and a pulpit. Homegirl's ready to preach
I
today.
don't know. There's a feeling that I have, and I'm here for it. I don't know. And here's the thing is that when you start, it's going to feel awkward. It might
Mm.
feel painful. It might feel embarrassing. It might fail. That is the moment where you pick up and you go again.
Yeah.
Go again, because consistency is what is going to get us through. Consistency, or is my word for the year, by the
Yo,
way.
I'm not good at that. It's a
I have not
good,
been good at that.
yeah,
And it's the thing that is holding me back.
same.
Is my lack of consistency is the thing that is holding me back. And I have said that for me, 2025 is the year of consistency, and 2025 is the year. It is the year. The things that I have written down on paper, the things that I have prayed for, the things that I have cried over, the things that I have stressed over that have given me anxiety. This is the year. And I feel it now in me, right? The energy, it's like buzzing. It's so exciting. I'm so excited. And I
But
just wanted to yeah, go.
what's I wonder what the place of how to say this properly. What's the place of accountability in consistency?
Mm,
Because
that's a
you and
great
I have
question.
been doing this podcast now for a year.
Yeah.
Rain, sun,
Yeah.
sickness, health, moves,
Tired,
family
no
drama, work
sleeping,
drama, job changes, no sleeping,
different
sleeping,
countries, different
different
time
countries,
zones.
changing teams. It's yeah, but somehow we have managed to keep it going week on week, week on week, week on week, week
That's
on
true.
week, week on
How
week.
did we do that?
Exactly. So I'm like,
How
what's
did
the
we do
place of
that?
accountability? Because the
Yeah.
way that I think of it is that I'm as much accountable to you and to the
Mm,
team that we work with as I am
mm,
to the people who listen to us, to the people who follow on
mm,
social media, and not
mm,
wanting to drop the ball and let everyone down
mm,
kind of keeps me in
mm.
check.
With
So
you.
like even when
With
life is
you.
lifing hard, it's
We
like
find the
how
energy for
we
this.
find the energy to bring it. It's like how can I put systems in place to ensure that while I'm going to need to take care of me, this thing that we're building does not fall, does not drop, does not get left
Mm,
behind. You know, like it
mm,
took some conscious effort and planning to keep trending out episodes and content. And I'm just wondering like could it because you and I are both sitting here going, we're not good with consistency, and yet consistently put out a podcast. So I'm just like, what's the place of accountability? You know, maybe that's what you need to do. Like maybe
Maybe
that's the
that's
next
what it
step
is.
for you. Like
Yeah.
I'm not I was never really great at going to the gym. I love the idea of going to the gym. The
Mm,
getting up to go is a problem
mm.
for me.
The worst part.
It's
It's the
exactly
worst
once
part.
you're there, it's a good
Once you're there, it's
time.
fine. It's
It's
fine.
fine. But the getting up to go was a problem. And so, what was the fix? I got a trainer who was a bit of a slave driver. He's wonderful.
Your
I know I
Pedro.
always say that, but he's
Pedro.
wonderful. I always say he's a slave driver. He's really not. And he had classes, group classes that I had to be a part of. And he'd see me in the class and I wasn't allowed to half ass it because he'd be like, all right, what are you doing back there? You know? And then we
Mm,
had our one-on-one sessions as well, like three
mm.
times a week. And you didn't have you couldn't not show up because Pedro's like, my lady, where are you? Are you going to take it? I'm waiting for you. Show up, you know? So
Yeah,
I had someone to keep me in check. And so I kept
yeah,
going day after day. Same thing with,
with you,
eating healthy. I had a
with
dietitian who
you,
was keeping me in check. I had to go
with
weigh
you.
in at first. It was every 2 weeks and then it was every month. She'd check my
Mm,
water, she'd check my protein, she'd ask me what I ate the night before. So you best believe
mm.
2 days before I need to go, I'm like, I need to
You're
get
behaving.
I'm behaving. Like I'm drinking water. I'm eating right because I'm like, I don't want to lie to my dietitian. I have to come correct, you know? So just having the fact that I'm accountable to
For
someone
someone.
kept
Mm,
me consistent. And I wonder if
mm.
maybe that's what we all need to do in the different areas of our lives.
With
You
you,
want to start a
with you,
business, maybe get a mentor or a life coach
with
or
you,
a
with
a
you,
business partner, I don't know, a
with
silent
you.
partner even. Just someone to keep you accountable could help get you through at least the initial reluctance to go on the
With you.
journey.
With you. You know, this is actually such an important thing that you call out. And I'm now thinking out loud. So go on this journey with me. But I think it's such an important thing that you call out because for me the consistency like I said, it's my word for the year. It's the
Mm,
thing that I have struggled with well, I think it's the thing that is holding me back from the things that I want to achieve.
mm,
Now, the idea of accountability is putting your goal, your and maybe sometimes that's your vulnerability in
mm,
front of someone to say, this is the thing that I'm working on. Please hold me accountable to it.
mhm. Yeah.
Um, and I'm thinking, and I'm now speaking for myself, the reason I have not voiced these things out loud, the things that I'm choosing, because I've got my list of things that I want to stay consistent on, but you're one of my best friends. I've not told you what they are.
I know nothing.
Okay. And as I'm sitting here, I'm going, well, or is right. There is this need for consistency. Why have I not told her what they are so she can help me do these things? And as I'm sitting here, the reason is because I am afraid to fail. It's
Mm.
fear. Fear is what is holding me back from sharing with you because if I don't tell you that this is my goal, then if I don't make it, it's okay because no one knew.
Yeah, you can fail privately.
I can fail privately and then maybe I'll beat myself up in the corner, but like whatever. Like
Yeah.
it's not the shame that I have to carry on my back. This is so
Mm.
interesting for me. Sorry,
Cassie's processing out loud. But
this is
you're
something
not
that I'm processing.
wrong. You're not
Mm,
wrong. A lot of the
mm.
times we don't share our dreams and our goals with people because we're afraid to fail and we don't want to fail in their eyes. Like
We don't want
you
to
want to
fail publicly.
you don't want to
Yeah.
fail publicly. You want to be able to fail in private and cry your tears in private and maybe pick yourself back up and then try again. It's the reason
Yeah.
why sometimes you hear people say someone is an overnight success because the world didn't see all of their many failures. But you
With you.
best believe if someone has succeeded at something, they have failed at other things or at that very thing multiple times.
Multiple
There's no way
times.
you just woke up and you just
Multiple
became a
times.
star. That doesn't happen, but
Yeah.
you just maybe didn't get to see it. Maybe it was privately, or maybe you just weren't in their
Mm,
circle or in their world at the time.
mm,
So you're
mm,
right. It is fear. It is fear
mm.
because now you've gone and put it on Instagram that you're starting a business,
Do you know what I mean? You put on Instagram, you're starting a business, now all your friends are following you.
you
And
know.
then now you're at the bride the one day, and then they're like, oh, how's that thing? And you're like, yo, I
Can I
don't
tell you
know.
when we were starting LMA, this is why I didn't, my fear was that we wouldn't be able to sustain it. It was my
It
biggest
was
fear.
my biggest
I was
fear as
like,
well.
what
I
are we
was
going to
like,
talk
what
about?
are we gonna do? What are we gonna do? What are we gonna do? And here we are a year
How are
later.
we going to do
Um,
socials? How are we going to do this? How are we going to consistently film? It was one of my biggest
mm. And
fears.
let's also just talk about the fact that, like, even, and I'm going to use the podcast as an example, but like, even through building it and where we are now, like, there have been days that have really sucked.
Yeah.
Like, there's been times that are really difficult where Ora has wanted to pull my hair out and I've wanted to pull her hair out. Like, 1000% those days have existed. Times when we're sitting here trying to figure out how a microphone works, how a camera works, how the lighting works, like where we're gonna put the freaking light, and this is what I've done, and Ora hates it, and this is what I've done, and Cassie hates it, and like,
And we've
do you know
got
what I
too
mean?
little
It's
space, not enough
ah,
space.
it's too
It's
little space, or like, it's, there's been times that I've literally been like, why the fuck did we do this?
yeah.
Cancel the whole thing,
Look,
throw
that
it
has
all away.
happened a lot
Um,
more times than I've told you. I'm not gonna
yeah.
lie. Because when I'm getting up to do makeup at 6:30 in the morning, I'm like, why did we do
Why are
this?
we doing
Who
this?
thought this was a
Why?
good
Whose
idea?
idea was it? So, but I think it's again, what's kept us going is the accountability. What,
Mm.
you're waking up at 6:30 in the morning to do your makeup for, to shoot, because you know that on the other side of the camera is Cassie, who's doing her
Who's
own thing. You
yeah.
can't let her down,
Mm-hmm.
and vice versa.
Mm-hmm. And I know
Okay, so
MJ will
I'm
arrive and
gonna.
be like, guys, I don't see the episodes for the month.
Oh my gosh. And then MJ, yo, MJ, we love you. But sometimes MJ will be like, guys, please can you approve socials? And I'm like,
Right? I saw this last night. MJ's like, guys, I'm so sorry for the late message. I'm like, MJ, MJ,
refund.
MJ. It's late now. I'm making dinner. I can't.
um, so it's just consistency, accountability, accountability. I'm literally
Accountability.
having a moment here. Okay, so I'm gonna tell you something, Ore.
Okay.
This
Is
is,
this
it's
something
not
I
gonna
need to
be
hold you accountable?
correct, ma'am.
Okay.
Correct, ma'am.
I'm
Okay.
all ears.
This is something you're gonna hold me accountable to. This is something, even like, as I say this, I'm like, okay, but it's
Tell us here so that
it's gonna be fine.
you'll be accountable to me, to MJ, to Matthew and Estienne, and to everyone who listens to LMA. Tell us now. Let's go. There's
Friends and family.
8,500 people you're gonna be accountable to.
Oh, oh, oh. So moving on. No, I'm kidding. um, so I, for me, the one thing that I really want to do is get like my health right. Like,
Mhm.
I've been so encouraged by your journey on health. Truly, like, I have been. Like, I watched you graft, I watched you suffer, I watched you fight with Pedro, I
Oh,
watched you
Pedro.
get up off the couch to go and do the gym things. And when I was like, okay, bye.
Can I tell you how annoying that was? Cassie will be at my house and I have to go for a session and she's just like on the couch, cuddled up with
Bye.
Roman, watching TV. She's like, bye. Roman and I will
As
be
I,
here. And I'm just like,
as I as I wait for my delivery order of McDonald's to come through, like, do you know what I mean? Like, but like, I decided that for
yes.
me, like, and there's been times when I've started to go on like the weight loss journey and like that kind of thing. And I've started and I failed. And I've started and I've dropped the ball. And I've started and all these things. Part of that has been because I have this weird, and not just me, I think it's a lot of women, this weird perfection thing. So it's like,
Mm.
if I fall off the wagon, it's like, well, fuck it, I failed. You know what I mean? Like, so I really, like, this is the year for me. This is the year that I get it under control. Like, that I'm gonna lose weight, that I'm gonna get healthy, and I'm gonna just be like happier in myself and in my body. And I have lost 6 kgs. Okay. I've been like working out. I got a dietitian. I like am eating right, doing
You
all of the
did?
things. I did. You see, like, I just
Wow.
didn't tell you. And I didn't tell you because, or like, I don't want to get to a point where I'm like, let's say we get to, I don't know, June, and I'm like, well, I've failed. Because if I haven't told, like, now you can keep me accountable. And then in June, you can be like, bitch, get up off the couch and go to the couch. Go to the
Go to
gym.
the-
Listen to me. Get up off the couch, go to the couch. Do you, like, so yeah, so this is the journey I'm on. 6 kgs
But
down. 6 kgs is
can
like
I ask you a
12
question?
pounds. 12 pounds. I've lost 12 pounds.
Well done.
Thank you. Thank you very
Are
much.
you happy with yourself?
I'm happy. I'm very happy. I'm very happy. So yeah.
But wait, I want to go back to something you said because you're like, you don't want
Mm.
it to get to June and then it's like you failed. How are you defining success for this?
Oh, it's a great question. I mean, like, I think that for me, like, success is the number on the scale. Do you know what I mean? Like, there's obviously a number that must be there. And then I do also have there's the quantitative stuff and there's the qualitative stuff as well. Like feeling more energetic, feeling like, feeling fitter, feeling all of those things. And looking in the mirror and enjoying what I see.
Mhm.
Like being like, okay, yeah, Cassie, you look good. Um, so there's the qualitative and there's the quantitative. But I don't want to lie to you. The mental journey that I'm going on now is I'm very focused on the scale, like very, very focused on the scale. And if that thing like fluctuates, which it does, like goes up, goes down, like I freak out. Like I freak out and I'm
Friend, I
like,
don't know if that's healthy,
no,
to be
friend, I
honest.
know. Don't worry. I'm
Okay.
in therapy. Carrie and I talk about it all
Okay.
the time.
Because I'm like, I don't know that the scale has should be your definition of success because that that thing's
Yes,
very fickle.
but like this is what I'm saying to you is that like I know what should be true.
Mhm.
I know that it's not healthy to be focused so much on the scale,
Mhm.
okay? To obsess over that. I know that.
Yeah,
But then having that be the reality is a different chat.
got you.
Do you know what I mean? Like I know
Got
what
you.
it should be, but what it is, like I'm now just being honest. Like sometimes I will step on the scale and it'll go up like a little bit and I'm just like, oh my gosh. And then I will beat myself up. I'll be like, how dare you?
Okay.
How dare you guys?
We're gonna
But
need to
that's the
work on this
exactly.
because
And that's the journey. That's the
mm,
journey. But that's the beauty of 2025 being the year, number one. But number two,
mm,
this consistency chat. And then number three, this accountability chat.
mm.
So I love that I'm really as I'm speaking now, I'm terrified. I'm terrified that I've shared this much. And in the back of my mind, I'm like, we need to cut this episode. We need to like not do it, not do it.
This
Delete,
thing
delete,
is
delete,
going
delete.
out first chance
Right?
I get.
Right? But I wanna in the spirit of the episode, like
Mm,
one day is today. One day
One
is
day is
today.
today. Yeah.
Okay. And part of that, so fine, we're saying start today, tick,
Mm,
consistency. Now we're talking about, which I've been, I think I've done so far so good. But now this accountability chat, this is
yeah.
this is this is leveling up,
Well
leveling up the
done.
conversation.
I'm proud of you. I'm not proud
Thank
of you
you.
for losing 12 pounds. I could care less. I'm proud of you for deciding that this is what you want to do for you and then going for it. But more
Thank you.
importantly, that you finally decided to share because,
Thank
you know,
you.
you didn't have
Yeah. Yeah.
to.
Yeah. I
Didn't
didn't
have
have to,
to.
but I do think I think it's actually important. I think it's important um as
Mm.
part of the day one to well, as in today is the day journey.
For me,
Oh,
I
oh, I love this. Confess, these are my confessions. Just when I said I'm like a damn chick on the other side. Okay,
I've been
carry
so
on.
I moved and I've been trying to get a job, right?
Yes,
And
ma'am.
I sat down and I wasn't at first I wasn't these job sites. Oh,
No,
okay.
they're rough. They
These job
are
sites are rough.
rough.
I even LinkedIn. I eventually actually even subscribed to one of them because I'm like, it's I'm not gonna get anything good if I
LinkedIn,
don't pay. You
Indeed,
know, all of
remote
them,
work, all
remote
of them.
work,
It's
flex
it's
job. There's
tough. It
so
is
many of them.
tough. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so eventually I sat down and once I paid money, I started to see jobs that were more what I was looking
Oh,
for, like more
okay.
within my
Okay,
skill set.
okay.
And so I applied to
Amazing.
a bunch, like maybe like I sat down one day and I just applied to like maybe seven different
Mm,
ones that were,
mm.
the kind of thing I would want to do.
Yeah.
And then I was excited because I'd found this job that was like a dream job that was amazing. It was going
Oh,
to be remote. It was everything I knew how to do. All of my skills would have been, it was a great fit. That was like my number one. And then there were like two other ones that were also similar that I was like,
yeah.
if I don't get the first one, I get the other two, I'll be just as
I'll be
happy.
so happy. Yeah.
And then a week passes, 2 weeks pass, 3 weeks pass,
Yeah.
crickets, checking my spam, refreshing. And then I get my first rejection letter. And it rocks me. Now, before that letter had
Mm,
come in, I started looking at other jobs and I'd
mm,
lined them up. Like I had tabs open on my laptop,
mm,
lined them up that I was gonna, start
mm,
applying to
mm.
another set. I get this one rejection letter. What does Aura do? Just closes her
Closes all the
laptop,
tabs.
closes all the tabs. I was just like in my feelings.
I'm so
And it was one of
sorry.
the ones that I had really wanted as well. And I
Yeah,
was just like, you start to doubt yourself a little bit like,
of
okay, was I not good
course.
enough? Did I not craft the cover
Yeah,
letter well enough? Is my CV not robust enough? Did I leave
yeah.
something out? You start to ask all of these questions and you're just feeling. And so I basically I gave up for a little bit. I mean, I have to
Mm,
go back to
mm,
it. A girl's got to eat,
mm.
right?
Girl, yeah,
But
I listen.
in the moment, it felt like failing, and I allowed
Mm.
that to keep me from
Yeah, that feeling to
to
win.
exactly from continuing on this process, on this journey. And what I should have done is to have consistently kept, applying, kept sending my CV out, kept talking to people,
Absolutely.
kept connecting with people,
Mm,
kept meeting with people. But in the
mm.
moment, it just felt like I had failed at the one thing I
Yeah,
thought I would be perfect for. So what's the
I'm
point of
with you.
trying for anything else?
Yeah.
And so it took some time, but I have new tabs
Mm.
open. I have not
Yay for the new tabs.
not applied, not really done anything. I'm just gathering gathering myself again to be like, we're going to do it. We're going to do it. So that's why when you were saying this one day thing, I was like, just the other day, I was like, okay, but what if I'm not going to get a job? What
Mm,
if I'm going to have to create it?
mm.
What if this idea that I've had of starting this business or starting this thing that I want to do that I keep putting putting aside for the future, what if it's
Yeah,
now? you
yeah,
know but like I'm
yeah.
so afraid because I'm like, what if I start another? Because let me tell you, I have started many things in my lifetime, many things. Most of them I have not continued doing beyond a couple months or a year, so I'm really proud that LMA has lasted. So I like LMA is like my biggest success of something that I've started on my own, like with you. Like it's not something that
I'm
I'm
with
I'm
you.
not
Yeah,
working for someone else. Do you know what I
I
mean?
get you.
And then
Yeah.
we've kept it alive. So I think for me, my fear of starting something else new by myself without the accountability of a partner or of
Mm,
of of people, of a team or a crew or whatever, is that I will fail and I will pack it up again. It'll be just another thing that Ore started
I'm
and did
with
not
you.
complete.
I'm
And
with
that's
you.
holding me back from starting this
Sure,
idea that I want to
sure,
start. Because I'm
sure.
just like, in the past, I've done this before, didn't see it through. So what's to say this time will be any different? And
Oh,
that for me, that is what is holding me back. It's
oh,
the experience of the past, my lived experience. Yours is fear.
sure.
Mine is my lived experience, is what's holding me back.
Wow,
And now I need to
wow.
figure out how to break away from that.
Sure.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm
Um,
taking advice and taking notes. Y'all should share. What do I do here? Because we're getting very vulnerable today. I
we
kind of
are
like
getting
it.
very vulnerable. I,
I
I,
kind of
I
don't hate it.
really, I really am enjoying this. I'm finding this to be very wholesome. Um, Friend, sure. I hear you. I hear you. I hear you. And it's especially difficult when you've created for yourself proof points of your failure in the past as a
Yeah.
reason for why you shouldn't continue going
Mm-hmm.
forward. But
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if there's anything to be learned, and I hate to quote the billionaires, but here we are. Like, if there's anything to be learned from the people that we deem successful, they will be the first ones to tell you that I started and then failed and started and
Yeah.
then failed and
Yeah.
started and then failed.
Mm.
And I started and then it took off and it
Yeah.
worked. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? So if anything, you're on the road to be a Billy babe. So like seriously, that's all I'm
I mean,
taking away from this
sure.
moment.
Yes,
That's
of
all I'm
course.
taking
I
away.
I claim and receive it. Hmm.
No, but not to trivialize what you're saying, but like I I I hear you and I think that I'm really happy that you shared because I'm now gonna be like, okay, babes, come on. What's step one?
What's step one?
I'm so happy that the tabs are back open because the other thing, and I know that this is something that a lot of people will resonate with, is the job hunting. Job
Yeah.
hunting is the worst. It is the worst because it's rejection of like I mean, the job that I'm in now, I've been in this job for 7 months. 7 months.
Has it been 7
I
months
got
already? Wow.
It's been 7 months. I got a rejection email 2 weeks ago for a job I applied for a year ago.
What?
Do you know what I
That's
mean? And
insane. That is
even when
insane.
at this point I was like, "Guys, honestly, it's okay." But even when I got that like, "We regret to inform you," it's been a
Mm.
year. I'm in a job and I was happy. I was just like, "Why don't you want me?" Like,
Exactly. Why
you would
don't you
be
want
lucky
me?
to have me. Um, but all jokes aside, the job search thing is hard. It is tough. It requires a sense of resilience
Mm.
and a sense of, again, consistency, because
Yeah.
you've got to just keep going. You've got to just keep applying. You've got to just keep putting yourself out there. I have another friend as well at the moment who's also looking for jobs, and it's tough, like rejection after rejection after rejection.
Mm.
And I think the important thing is to separate that. Just because there's a rejection email that says, "We regret to inform you," it is in no way, shape, or form a reflection on you, who you are,
Yeah.
your skills, what you bring to the table.
Or it could
And
be.
that's,
Or it
mm,
could be. It could be
I
that
mean,
you're lacking something. Doesn't mean that you're a failure. It just might be that you need to go back to the drawing board, or you need to work on something. You need to improve, or add a certain skill. Sometimes we often know the skills that we know we need to brush up on, or that we're
look,
lacking.
I'm with you. I also am just like, in today's day and age,
Mm,
2025,
mm,
unless you are something that is like deeply skilled,
fair enough.
a doctor, as an engineer, an architect, a lawyer, like there is no job that is impossible to learn.
Yes, but I
Okay.
agree
Wait.
fully.
Yes, yes. There's no
Mm-hmm,
job that's impossible to learn. Okay.
mm-hmm,
Number one. Number two, like, you, and I'm speaking about you, you're not going to go and apply for a job to be a doctor. You're not going to do that because you're not a doctor. And that's the extreme of that. But
mm-hmm.
like, you're going to apply for jobs where you know you've got the skill, where you know you've got the ability to execute and to deliver it. In this instance where you applied for the job and you got rejected, the job you applied for, you wanted it because you knew that you could do it. So your rejection is not, in this instance, for me at least, is not a reflection on you. It's not a reflection on your skills.
Mm,
Someone else, maybe, I don't know, you, because you also never know. Like, so many
yeah,
different political agendas
of
as
course.
well. Like,
Yeah.
with, so
And then
I
there's the
think,
chat of whether or not, because I saw this online as well. People are like, whether or not to have your, you know how sometimes you have like a little profile pic on your CV or not. There's that chat
mm,
because now they've seen skin color and who you are. But then there's another chat about your name. Like if
yo,
your
it's true.
name is deeply hard to
It's true.
pronounce. I don't want to say
It's
deeply
true.
African because that's what I was gonna
I'm,
say.
but
You know what? I
but
am gonna say it.
I get you. I
Sometimes that
fully
could.
get you.
So you're not
It
wrong.
could be
It's not always
personal
about skill.
bias.
Yes,
It
it
could be
could be.
political agendas. I also, when I was applying for jobs, I also saw, or heard stories of people who were posting jobs online because it was an internal requirement to access the external talent, but
Oh
they knew
boy.
they were going to give it to someone internal.
And so why do that then? Now people are
Why
putting
take
energy. No,
why take
that's
us
just
on the journey?
wrong. That's just
Why take us on the
wrong.
journey? Why take us on the journey? So again, you keep applying, okay? Don't apply to be a doctor if you're not a doctor, obvs.
Yeah, don't
But
apply for
like,
stuff you're not skilled for.
but at the same time, like, you get that rejection email, don't let it bug you. Don't let it get you down. This is just not the job for you.
Or
Easier
it's
said than
not the
done. I
time for
know.
you.
Or it's not
I
the time for
know.
you.
But or the other
Easier said
thing
than
which
done,
I think
but
is
consistency.
happening
Yo.
I think is happening is maybe where it's going for me is it's not for me. Like there is something I should be doing. I don't want to do it. And so I'm looking for a job
Mm.
instead. Do you know what I mean? Like I
Hectic.
should be
There you
starting
go.
something. I should be
Yo.
doing it. I'm
And the
sitting on a
good Lord,
dream. And
the good
exactly, I'm
Lord
sitting
is
on a
like,
dream and the Lord is like,
man,
nope.
why are you applying for jobs when we
Exactly.
told you what
So
you should be doing?
could be that as
Um,
well.
It's true. It could be that. So I one of the things that I read, one of the books that I recently reread, it's called Atomic Habits. It's by author James Clear. And it took the world by storm. I'm sure I'm saying this and a lot of you have
Mm.
probably heard of the book. But Atomic Habits, James Clear, and in it basically what he talks about is this exact concept of like little steps, little actions that will have atomic impact, right? And he tells this story, and ironically, it is about going to the gym. He tells a story of this one guy who was like, overweight on the couch, knew he needed to like get up and get it together, health wise. Um, and he decided that what he would do is his goal was not to lose 100 kgs or 100 pounds. His goal was for today, just go to the gym. Just go.
Mhm.
And so he would literally go to the gym, get in the car, go drive to the gym. He would get there, he would go inside. He wouldn't touch a single machine. And then he would leave. And he'd be like, today I went to the gym. Today I
He
went to the
did
gym.
though, didn't he?
It's
He
true.
went to
He
the
did. He went to
gym.
the gym and he built the habit of going to the gym 3 days a week. I'm going to go to the gym. And then once that was a habit, 3 days a week of just arriving in the foyer became, okay, I'm going to go for a 100-meter walk on a treadmill.
Mhm.
I'm just going to walk 100 meters. Like, I'm not trying to do a 21K marathon. I'm
Mm-mm.
not trying to do anything. I'm not even trying to move at insane speeds. I'm just
Mhm.
going to walk 100 meters on treadmill. And this is how he did it. And he built the habit more and more and more and more and more and more and more.
Mhm.
And he lost the weight and he got really healthy. And these small, tiny actions
Mhm.
resulted in him ultimately achieving his goal. And I think that part of the problem and part of why this is so scary to start is because we've got this picture in our head of the end, which is
Yeah.
important,
Mm.
okay? But it can also be overwhelming. Um, my mom and dad were just here, and my mom said, I've heard this said before, but she said it, and I was like, she's so right. It's like the only way to eat an elephant is one bite at a time.
Yes, of course.
The
I
only
mean,
way
why are
you're
we eating
gonna
an
get there.
elephant though? But I get it.
Because it's big. Do you know what I mean? But like the only way to get through eat an elephant is one bite at a
Yeah.
time. It's one step at a time. But you will never get to that end picture if you don't start. And what I'm saying is you are prepared. You already have everything that you need. Start today.
Mm.
Start.
Mhm. Mhm. Mhm.
She's like, yep, 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 yep.
I should, shouldn't I? I should start.
The other thought that I was thinking about for this as well is that like when and again this elephant idea, when you want to start something and it feels big and it feels impossible, um it it's because it's so big, but once you start to do it, it starts to feel easy. It gets easier to do. We've talked about doing the podcast. Like in the beginning it felt so big and overwhelming, and now we know which camera needs to go where and which light needs to go where, and we can set up in our sleep. Like we just put it up and we go. But
Yeah.
there were times when it was really, really hard. Like there's times when, like, I remember the one time I was at Ora's house and I think you were just about to move or whatever it was. And I don't know if I was helping. Helping is a generous word, but but I was moving like a weight and it was like a 10 kg dumbbell. And I was just like, like it was so heavy. And I was just like, what the heck? And this is already just like two 10 kg dumbbells in like one hand. Like, you know what I mean? But you had to work your way to that. You had
Yeah.
to start with the 2 kg, then the 3, then the 5, then the
Mm.
then the 10.
It's a
So
process. Everything in
it is a
life
process.
really it is a
Yeah.
it's a
Yeah.
process. You just and I
Yeah.
know that we did an episode where we were like stop giving people the advice and saying just start. Like start what? Just start what? Like it's so vague and it's so big. They already have this huge idea and they're not sure, how to eat the elephant.
Mm,
um but like, and we were basically saying start with what you know, start with what you can. There's got to be
yeah.
something that you have control of, that you can do. If there's nothing you can start or nothing you can do, then maybe you shouldn't be doing this at all because you don't know anything about it. Go learn,
Fair. Yeah. Fair.
but there's got to be something. You can start with the name. You can start with finding a trainer or a dietitian. You want to start a hair business. You can start with learning the different types of hair, There's got to be some part of it that you can start today, start right now. Maybe you're
Yeah.
not going to launch a full mega corp sitting on your couch right now. But there's things
Mm,
you can start that will eventually lead to this huge dream. I was working with
mm,
a client recently, and I remember saying she wanted to start something. She wanted to do something small. And
mm.
so I sent her like a list of questions just to, to make sure that she understood, where she
What
wanted to
she
go,
wants.
what the plan was, so she could at least put her thoughts down, on paper. And so I sent her a bunch of these
Mm,
things. And then she came back and I asked her one of the questions about how does she want to monetize? How does she want to make money? Has she thought of that? And she came back and she was like, I hadn't thought about this at all. I didn't actually plan to, but now that you've brought it up, now I'm thinking about this and I'm thinking about that. And I'm like, it's opened up
amazing.
possibilities for me. And now she's thinking of having like a whole company, and I'm like, okay, babes, we're gonna get there. We're gonna do
She's
that,
like, come back, come back, come
but
back,
we're
come back,
still
come
gonna
back.
build, starting with this one thing that you wanted
Yeah.
to start, because that's the one thing we can start right here, right now, with the
Right now.
resources, with the energy, with the time that you have. And then we will build it. You will get there,
Mm,
but we don't feel overwhelmed by the idea of
mm,
this huge project, this huge
mm,
idea, break it down
mm,
into bite-sized chunks.
mm,
Go to
mm,
the
mm.
gym, drive up there, say hello to the people, pay for a membership, and then go home. Stop for a
Mm.
McDonald's on your way. Sure, why not?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like you have to be able to break life down into bites. Like one of the things I hated
Bite-sized
most in
chunk.
uni, into bite-sized chunks. Yeah, one of the things I hated most in uni is when people would go, "What's your 5-year plan?" I'm
Yeah.
just, I hated that thing so much.
I couldn't
I'm
tell you
not
that
saying it's
now, to be
bad.
honest.
I'm not saying it's
I'm not gonna lie.
bad. You should, have an idea of what that is. But they always wanted like a detailed answer, like a detailed plan, like a play by play. And I'm just like, what?
Yeah.
It's so big. Don't ask me
Mm.
like a detailed plan of my next 5 years. Ask me what I'm trying to achieve in the next 6 months. Like,
Yeah.
what am I
Fair.
devoting my energy to for the next 6 months?
Fair.
Like that's the one I need to have a clear understanding and a grasp on, because that's the here and the now. So anyway, long-winded way of saying, start with whatever it is that you can start with. Don't
Mm.
get distracted by the big picture. What I think they say, couldn't see the forest for the trees. There's
Oh,
something.
yeah, see the
Yeah,
forest and the trees.
see the forest and trees. There's another one that they say like that, because it's like you get distracted and you can't see you can't see the big picture because you're obsessed about one thing. But I'm also saying
Mm.
sometimes it's very easy to focus big picture and lose sight of the here and the now. And
Mm.
what you can control, what you can
Fair.
do, is really the here and the now.
100%.
So
100%. Anyway,
I'm preaching to
so
myself and I don't like
I'm
it
preaching
one
to
bit.
myself as
I
well. I'm
hate
preaching to
it.
myself as
I
well.
hate
I'm
it
preaching to
so
myself as
much
well.
because now I have to get
Listen,
up and do stuff.
2025 is the year. In truth, genuinely, I really, really believe this. And especially for a lot of Black women. I don't know what it is, like I said in the beginning. I don't know what it
Prophetess
is, but it is
Cassandra in the
it is
building.
it is what I am feeling. I think that I had a friend who literally she says this all the time. No one is working on themselves as hard as Black women are. It's true,
Mm, mm,
and I it's time to take that hard work, that energy, that planning, and move it into action. So I hope that this has been encouraging for you. And I think for me, my key takeaways is yes, it's time to act. We're gonna act with consistency, and number three, more importantly, is to act with accountability.
mm,
So who's your
mm.
person? Find who they are, connect with them, and create that safe space with them. Anyway, come say hi. Come tell us what you're committing to for 2025. I want to know. Come, and you can do this on Instagram and on TikTok. And of course, you can watch us on YouTube, Spotify, and Apple as well. Okay, love you. Bye.
Okay, love you. Bye.
Hey, thanks for listening. Please don't forget to like and subscribe anywhere and everywhere you find your podcasts. Also, you can watch and subscribe on YouTube and follow us on Instagram and TikTok. Okay, love you. Bye.